Like to win a game in these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Cousins now to throw on first down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And now we get a peek at the Titan offense.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
7 yards there and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All day, baby. All day.
From the 44, Cousins. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, Cousins. That is incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Mayfield on first down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby. No.
Mayfield. He completes it to Henry. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Cousins completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. A big play there for the Dolphins. 52 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 22.
180. Watch the slant. Check. Alert, alert. Alert, alert. Check 13.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Preston Smith there on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A run for Nick Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Complete. It's Henry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Mika Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second and 5 now. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he is going to have the first down as he gets this up to his own 11. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's first and 10 from the 11. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards, the final tally.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
On third down, Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
This is taken at the 18. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins to throw it. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Cousins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will be brought down. His time is now run out on this first half of action. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Mayfield on play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 28-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4. Mayfield. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. Mayfield now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now on 2nd and 16. Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 6.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Just like that. Check out.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Titans. Paul Richardson. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it. That despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This one taken just inside the 10. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. He's coming.
Mayfield to throw it. Screen play, Johnson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also a Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's complete. Henry. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run it with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked up.
Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
He's not going anywhere.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
From the 16, Mayfield, and caught by Henry. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The kick by Marr is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Cousins. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over in your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can't he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Hopkins' kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And he can't hang on to it. And the screen never got started. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Miami. Now it's Crowder. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 6. Just over a minute 40 to play. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. And this is going to be incomplete. Nickel Roby-Coleman there defensively. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw. Deep. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and that ought to just about do it.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
180!
They'll run on first down. Johnson. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Dolphins, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I can't believe that gotta be lit. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, never switch.
Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things pull out the bip. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. Play know how I drip. Grip.
switch, not a day in my life. You know me, my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time.